When I was 14 years old, my stepfather laughed at my dreams. And that night, I cried myself to sleep. And I remember that evening, my mother coming to my bedside, and she whispered, "Mijo, puedes hacer más con tu vida. Servimos un Dios muy poderoso." Son, you can do more with your life. We serve a mighty God. Those words pierced my heart. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that I had hope, and I knew that my life could change. You see, we had grown up on government cheese and food stamps, and I had no idea how I was going to get out of that place. But my mother's words inspired me, and my father's actions, man, they drove me. And so by the age of 30 years old, I'm the vice president of a growing construction company. And we're growing by leaps and bounds, 6 million to 8 million. And at that point, having the challenge of hiring new people, I thought, man, who could I get to work with me who has a great work ethic? And I thought, boom, my little brother Victor. We used to call him Popeye the Sailor because he was in the Navy. And after months and months of talking with him, he made the decision to come work with me. Then we went from 8 million to 10 to 12 to $15 million in a span of 5 years, growing this construction company. And one night, as we're setting our goals, we thought, shoot, man, it's probably time that we actually start our own construction company. And so 2008, that's exactly what we did. We started our own construction company. And the first year that we were in business, we did $1 million, which is the most money we had ever seen, right? And so we remember being so excited, and having grown up the way that we did, we knew that we had to contribute back to other people. And so during that time, we did $1 million of revenue. That same year, we donated turkey dinners to widows and to people that were less fortunate. That's what happened to us when we were kids, is we would have churches donate to us, and so we felt compelled to do the same. Year number two, $2 million of revenue. Now we're blown away. We don't know what's going on, but we feel blessed. And so we give even more turkey dinners away. And here we go. I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is amazing. This is great growth. But I also know, shoot, I don't know that I have the business acumen for this, right? How sustainable is this? And so we went off to a seminar, and one moment we're all taking notes. And the next moment I look up and my phone is going off, and it's my little brother texting me saying, "Hey, OP, I need you to take me to the hospital right now." I drove him to the hospital, and 2 weeks later, I watched my little brother take his last breath. And you talk about being punched in the face and kicked while you're down. Here we are doing everything that we're supposed to do, and things are going wrong, really wrong. My mother breaks out in shingles all over her body. His 2 kids are asking why God would let something like this happen to their dad. My business is barely surviving, and I'm doing the best I can to keep the revenues going, because this is the only thing that sustained our entire family. And months later, my accountant walks in, and he says, "Hey, OP, look, man, it's time, brother. It's time to look at the books and face the music." He opens up the numbers and he says, "Look, man, you cannot make it. You have to admit to yourself that you cannot run this business without your little brother. He was operations manager, and he was your partner and your best friend. You can't do this." He says, "I suggest you go into the other room and you tell them that they need to start looking for another job. Tell your employees to go start looking." At that moment, guys, I heard this whisper again, "Mijo." And I knew there's no freaking way. And I told Scott, I just buried my little brother. I'm not going to bury the company. There's no freaking way that's going to happen. And now, 10 years later, we have fed over 2,300 families at Thanksgiving. And our revenue has just exceeded $8 million. Here's the deal. Entrepreneurship, people think it's easy. People think it's fun. But this is a freaking blood sport. This will challenge you emotionally, mentally, physically, so much so that you could break. And the only thing holding you back, the only thing that will stop